You spoiled our Christmas, Aaron growled. His purple face appeared ready to explode. He opened his mouth in an animal howl. You ruined everything, Peg rumbled in a harsh, gravelly rasp. You spoiled our holiday. The boys changed, too. Their faces bellowed in and out like fish heads. Their eyes appeared about to fly out of their sockets. Their hair stood up on end, straight up in the air. Their hands swelled. Their whole bodies shimmered and pulsed angrily. You spoiled Christmas, Peg roared. You must be punished. No, please. I struggled to back away, but there was nowhere to go. Please, I begged. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me?
You can't scare me. Not with the basement of botany. Maybe a sentient dummy. Calling all creep.
Boo dudes.
What's going on?
And thank you, as always, for tuning in to Calling All Creeps. And just want to wish everyone a scary Christmas, of course. Very slappy New Year.
Of course. And, it's that oral time of the year.
It's that special oral time of the year.
Where you just kind of snuggle up to your closest family member, maybe your mummy.
Yeah, your ghouls and gals. I don't know.
It's by the way, this is a Goosebumps podcast, a literary review comedy podcast, and it's the holiday season. This one's set to drop on Christmas Eve, right?
Yeah, so it should be Christmas Eve, so enjoy that.
Yeah, what are you guys up to?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I should be going to my sister's house.
That's fun.
Yeah. So
Does she look just like you with long hair? I mean, I've met her, but let's just discuss this.
Yeah, she looks like me and a little bit like Gary Oldman.
Huh.
With a mustache.
She has a mustache.
Yes.
Okay. I'm into
So,
it. That's fun.
A la Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just like praising another god because it's a holiday episode. Like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that guy.
Right. And yeah, because this is not just about Christmas, this is about all of the religions and holidays.
Of course it is. We're very inclusive, even though this book that we're doing is very strictly Christmas.
Yes, this is all about Christmas.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we're mixing things up.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing? What
am I doing? That's a fun thing. I don't even know. I know for Happy Boo Year, I'm going to go to Chicago.
Cool.
My buddy's moving there. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be real cold.
It's going to be real cold.
Chicago is notoriously super cold, right?
Yeah, there's something about that city there where it's always like winding.
Right. That's the adage, right? Well, that's the wrong word, but it's the windy city.
It is a windy city.
So no Christmas plans. You gotta.
Well, I'm gonna see my mom.
I'm
gonna see my mom.
Yeah.
My mom's.
Yeah. Cool.
My dad. My brothers.
Yeah.
Grandpa. Drink some Jack Daniels with Grandpa.
Oh, that's right. Grandpa Bones, right?
Yeah, John Bones.
John Bones.
It's very good. So we decided we were going to take a break from the original 62 Goosebumps.
Yeah.
And delve into some more of R.L. Stine's work because we don't really want to break up the original 62. We want to go straight down the line, straight in order. So we veered off a little, but because we were in search of holiday cheer.
Yes. Right. So today we have from the Goosebumps Most Wanted series, the 12 Screams of Christmas. And I think we both have a special edition, right?
I think this is only a special edition.
Okay. Right. This is the only printing.
This is the only printing of it.
Yeah.
It's a special edition in the Goosebumps Most Wanted.
Right, because it's
brand.
a holiday version.
Yeah.
But this is important because it's our first foray into first modern Goosebump books, and then also just a different series. I mean, as kids, I think we both read like Choose Your Own Ending, maybe.
We did too. What is it? Give Yourself Goosebumps.
Yeah, Give Yourself Goosebumps. But otherwise, I haven't read
very
any
masturbatory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like tickle your arm and give yourself goosebumps.
Put a pinky in your butthole. Series 2000.
Yeah. Smell it just because you're curious. Thanks, RL.
Goosepumps.
That would be the porn.
Yeah.
And most of the titles can stay the same.
Yeah.
Too.
I have to give credit to a listener and friend of the pod, Isaac Leggett, for that one.
Oh, really?
Today he texted me Goosepumps. And then he texted me Goose Lumps with a different context. And then I think we also said Goose Fucks at one point.
Yeah, it just kind of gets away from you every now and then.
Right. But I think generally I want to say Well, for both of us, I think we enjoyed this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely did. It's a little long.
It's long.
It's 174 pages.
Right, which you can balk at if you like literature. But for Goosebumps, this is unheard of because most Goosebumps books are like 120 pages at most, and their chapters are like 2 pages.
And this one, there's certain points where I feel like R.L. Stine forgot the plot and had to remind himself,
Right.
like later on. And I was like, yeah, thanks, dude. It was like Game of Thrones after a while. I'm like, who's that?
Yes, for sure. Although I had less trouble with this than like Say Cheese and Die.
Yeah, Say Cheese and Die was just
too many friends.
Every person had a nickname, but they'd also call them by their normal name too. That was confusing.
There's the main character of this book is Kate, and I basically just need to know like the girl she has an issue with is Courtney, and then she has a best friend who is like barely in the book, even though they're best friends. Yeah, and that's it. And
is
then
it the
there's
hot guy who she
and then
wants
there's
to
a hot
kiss?
guy, but they're all auxiliary characters.
Then there's a guy named like DeCarlos.
There is a guy named
There's
DeCarlos.
Gabe, and then they're like, also, there is a character named DeCarlos. And then at the end, it's like, everyone was there, even DeCarlos.
Yes. They just had to call back to him.
It was just like, you don't have anyone named DeCarlos in any of your books. And he's just like hell I don't.
Yeah.
Then DeCarlos showed up and said, let's play Dreidel.
And Paco, too, is in this book.
Was there a Paco?
There's a Paco.
See, I don't even remember. And I finished reading it this morning.
Yeah, I think they call him Tupaco. No, they don't.
So we were saying this is Most Wanted. It was a brand new take on terror was the tagline for this series.
Very cool.
And it was featured a lot of reoccurring storylines and return to characters. So I think one of the Most Wanted was they're all in the back of this book. There's like the Return of the Haunted Mask.
Right, which is cool.
Yeah.
A Nightmare on Clown Street is the one after this.
That's pretty cool. Say Cheese and Die Screaming. Those are Heartland. But for the Most Wanted, they were able to go back to the scariest and favorite creatures. So, like, here we go. Most Wanted, The Haunted Mask, Planet of the Lawn Gnome, Son of Slappy, How I Met My Monster.
Which is like a werewolf.
Yeah.
Wearing a shirt that says, I Heart Wolves.
That's pretty cool.
That's great.
Zombie Halloween and 12 Screams of Christmas are the special editions because those are specific holiday books.
Halloween, that's cool. Whoa, Frankenstein's dog. Look at the art.
That's creepy.
For the listeners, yeah, the art is like, it's this taxidermied, like psychotic little chihuahua or something.
And this is new art, which I've been getting a taste of this new art from the other books, like the revamps. Yeah. But since 2008, what is his name? Brandon
Dorman.
Brandon Dorman has been doing this art.
Yeah.
So it's tough when you see classic Jacobus stuff. You really don't appreciate it that much. This cover is meh. It's just like
it's okay.
It's a ghoul.
Yeah.
Wrapped in Christmas lights.
Now, who is this?
I was thinking that too.
Because
I think it's the dad. Ghost dad.
Really?
I think so.
It's dressed like... But see, this ghost is dressed like they're in the play. Like in the... Like it's prep school, like a sweater vest with a blazer over it, and there's a little music note on the lapel. And yet, it is like a ghost wearing a Christmas hat. So maybe I'm very confused.
This would be like the poster for the play.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Well, we haven't even gotten into the plot, but...
No. But
so this is Goosebumps Most Wanted, Special Edition, number 2, 12 Screams of Christmas.
Time and place?
Time and place, September of 2014.
Whoa, baby. That was the first year I started teaching at Fairleigh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It's got you that professor title that we get to use for this podcast.
Hell yeah. It was the best job I ever had, too.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, because if you're a professor, you have to work like 10 hours a week. I'm sorry. I mean, you grade, but otherwise it's like you're semi-retired. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
Anyway.
Song was Stay With Me by Sam Smith.
Sure. Yep.
And top movie, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, hey, cool. Oh, right. I saw it August. I think it came out August, right? Like end of August. It came out like the 31st. It was the
number one movie for a long time. Mm-hmm. Like the entire month, but it came out before it.
It was very exciting.
Events on the 4th, Joan Rivers died at 81.
R.I.P.
Of complications with a surgery.
Sure.
She had enough of them.
Yep.
And then on the 18th, Emma Watson delivered an address to the UN to launch the UN Women's Campaign, He for She.
Wow.
And got a standing ovation.
Wow.
And that was her real foray into political world.
Well deserved. I didn't know she did that.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome.
Good for her.
All right. And that's kind of it. We got this. We were talking before. We actually don't know this answer, but R.L. Stine wrote these. Our biggest concern was that we were going to find a holiday book that was ghost written or not written by him.
Yeah, because that was the problem with Ghosts of Fear Street series, was they're all ghost written. It said R.L. Stine *S Ghosts of Fear Street. So it's his franchise, but they're all written by other authors.
He owns the people.
Yeah. So
He's
it's
got,
like why read these
slaves.
at all? Yeah.
So that's why we moved over to this one. This is our second recording because I messed up my mic. And
No, you didn't mess up your mic. I don't know how to record 5 episodes.
No, you do a great job. It sounds beautiful. And we were like, how many books did R.L. Stine write? Do you know the top of Google, how it just gives you like a general answer now?
Yeah.
Their answer, and we were guessing, I was saying at least like in the 200s for books, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
He's written like 200 books. Is my
At
guess.
least, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that you say at least because read what Google wrote.
For the listeners, it says at least 43.
It literally says at least 43.
And it has a picture of R.L. Stine where the flash is on, like somebody with their phone took it, and the flash is illuminated in his glasses. The whole package is insane.
I'm gonna save this for.
Let's put that on the old
Instagram.
social medias. Yeah.
Which, by the way, hit us up on Instagram. We've been posting some crazy memes.
Yeah.
We're getting real good at
Thanks
this.
for sticking with us through our Say Cheese and Die meme phase.
Yeah. It looks like spam, but they're all different, I promise.
Yeah. So I think before we even start the plot,
Oh, God.
I have something I want to do.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So this book is The 12 Screams of Christmas.
Yes.
Not to fast forward to the plot, but it's about sort of a play musical that the kids have to do where they sing this song called 12 Screams of Christmas.
It's a horror play.
It's a horror play, yeah.
For Christmas.
And so they do, 12 Days of Christmas song, and they replace the words with spooky ideas.
They do. And
So I thought it might be fun if we sang the 12 Screams of Christmas using R.L. Stine tropes. And, whoa, that's weird. I just so happen to have a script here with lyrics. And I think we can go down the list. Just the end. Just, we won't go through the whole thing, but we'll just do the whole rundown of the 12. And
this is very good.
I have the music ready to go.
Do you have when did you get this ready? When did you even do this?
Well, I just have some time. And
we always have these little secrets that only come out. Like,
Yes.
I hope he just like pulled these papers out of his
Dave
urethra and just
Yes.
slammed them down on the table. I had no idea.
he had no knowledge of this, which I wrestled with. I was like, should we prep this? But no, I think it's better this way. All right. So this is going to kind of fade in, and I'll lead if you want me to if you want to follow, okay?
Yeah.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love screamed, I see 12 dry as cottons, 11 wardrobe rundowns, 10 shitty boy brats, 9 pets in harm's way, 8 fruited faces, 7 portly papas, 6 negligent parrots, 5 crinkly eyes, 4 short chapters, 3 bone dreams, 2 robust ants. Turns out I was dead the whole time.
Wow. That was really good.
I hope you all enjoyed that.
Robust ants, bone dreams.
Bone dreams, robust ants, portly papas. We'll post the lyrics.
Fat dads.
somewhere.
He loves fat dads.
Loves fat dads.
We got a fat papa.
All the
We got a
dads
fat guy
are
in this
humiliated. They all have a sensitivity about their weight and it's exploited.
one. Yeah. It's real sad. All right, so this is let's go 20 years into the future
Yeah,
in our Goosebumps time machine,
cool.
and let's
Let's talk about that plot.
do this. Would you like to start? This is the first Goosebumps book where we're getting parts. We got a prologue.
Yeah, right. So this, the plot is kind of, because it's so long, it would be exhausting to you, the listener, and also it's hard to go piece by piece, and you sort of don't need to.
No.
But the beginning. So there are, as Dave said, there's 3 parts to this book, and he says sort of like, you know, part 1, part 2, part 3. The designation in the beginning is that it takes place in the 1800s. So you open up and it says prologue : 1882. It doesn't say colon, but the first chapter does have a lot of like butt stuff in it. No, it takes place in 1882, and it's about a family that lives presumably in the town where our protagonist lives later in the future, Kate. But it's about this family. They love Christmas. They love celebrating Christmas together. They have a well, and the daughter falls down the well. She never comes back. She screams to get me out like 12 times.
And then disappears.
And then, just disappears.
She always wears this red hat.
Yes,
You
so
see
she's
the
like
little red hat
Mario.
in the well, and there's nothing. I thought about that too.
Her brothers are Luigi and Toad.
They're actually twins, so they would probably be Mario and Luigi.
No, I like mine.
They're more Wario and Waluigi.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, Luigi and Waluigi.
They're Donkey Kong and Stonky Kong. Everyone's favorite.
Yeah. So,
By the way, I almost didn't finish this book because Smash Brothers came out, so that's all that's on my mind. I was like, I'll get to it.
yeah, it's long. It sneaks up on you. You think you got it, but
I had
it's
another
like,
50 pages. I had no idea.
So that's the beginning. Is there's a family, their daughter dies.
Whole prologue didn't need to happen. They
Not
could
really.
have literally been like, we're going to this house. Did you hear in the 1800s
Yes.
a little girl died?
Also because they reiterate the story anyway in later on. So it's like kind of redundant.
They also talk about this like weird house in the back of their house, and the kids are so excited to have it as their playhouse, but no one goes there because it was super haunted.
Oh yeah.
And it was like a big plot point in the prologue. Then they just don't talk about it ever
Yeah,
again.
that's true.
Because they like decide to fight bees.
Oh, that's right. In the beginning, right?
Yeah.
In the 1800s.
In the
Yeah.
1800s, they see a wasp nest, and they're like, that looks like a wasp nest. And then they just
They
smack
open it. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, who's in here?
And and that's why they're afraid of bees. To shout to like book number 19 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe no, there's no connection.
Probably not.
No.
Who knows?
So they love wasps. They open the wasp
The
nest.
band Wasp.
Yeah. They love WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. But that's it. That's the beginning. And then part 2 is present day. So it says part 1, or I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is technically part 1, but we've already gone through a part. December this year. And this section is about a girl named Kate Wells, and she's just like a high schooler, right? Or middle schooler.
Middle school girl.
Yeah.
Just a normal girl. But she gets picked on. Why? Because drop the mic. Girl can see ghosts.
She can see ghosts.
She can see ghosts. It's very Sixth Sense.
Yeah, she's not even just an empath. She like everywhere she goes, there's ghosts. It's like Paranorman.
Yeah. It is very paranormal. She also drops it in the book, just kind of like, you know why this happens? Oh yeah, because I can kind of see ghosts.
Yeah, right. So obviously she gets shit for that, notably from her frenemy Courtney.
Yeah, frenemy is
This
the
is
coined term.
something too that we can talk about because now we can compare generations of books.
Yes.
Wasn't it weird to see like Facebook mentioned in this
I'm
book?
glad you brought that up. Because
Yeah.
while you had something prepared, I have something prepared called Welcome to the 2000s, Mr. Stine.
Yes.
So we're going to go through all the different things, and you're going to tell me, well, I guess they're all in the book, but if you thought about this and how that changed the book for you.
Yes, for sure.
Page 27, Facebook. First thing we get is Facebook appears.
Yeah.
And it was something about how she wrote a post that's just kind of like really depressing.
Yeah.
And then her friend was like, that's not on brand for you. Like, it's kind of depressing. You're not that kind of person. That's not your social media presence. So
Yeah.
please delete it.
Right.
The fuck?
Very savvy for
Very
RL.
savvy.
Yeah.
You remember when he was just kind of like, oh, now I can't have Nintendo.
Yeah, right. And that's interesting because at this point in his life, so we know he has one son and he's gone. Right?
He's a grandpa. This is
Yeah.
Grandpa Stein.
Oh, right. So
At this point.
maybe his son has
At
kids.
least, no, his son's...
31. So they can't be like preteens.
No. The kid may have just been born at this point. The kid was Slappy for Halloween this year, his grandson, and he wore the clothes off the doll. Like one of the doll's actual clothes he wore.
Okay.
And it's adorable. Go to R.L. Stein's...
Very cute. Congratulations, RL.
Yeah.
But
What a cool grandpa to have.
yeah,
Spookiest grandpa.
I mean, honestly, yeah, the
Yeah.
coolest.
He'd be like, oh, my grandpa has Werther's Originals. It's like, my grandpa was played by Jack Black.
And had a
like-
cameo in the movie as well.
It's like, oh shit, your grandpa is in a High Fidelity.
And old X-Files episode.
Yeah. All right. Page 28. She's walking through the snow with her brand new Ugg boots.
Her Ugg boots, and the term frenemy is used on that page.
Term
as
frenemy,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Page 34. Somebody says, no biggie, dude.
So that's a little more like 20 years ago.
It is, but it's still
But
like
it's cute.
very. We would never get that.
Yeah.
He was still having kids just being like, perhaps this may become a predicament.
Yeah.
And now they're like, yo, just shoot the shit, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm in middle school. Suck my dick.
So the only thing I'll say about this book in terms of like precocious language from the kids is RL doesn't use hardly any contractions in this book, and it really bothers me.
Yeah.
Like-
He's fragmenting up a storm, too.
That too, which he always does. But in the 1800 section, I was like, oh, he's establishing the best he could do to establish that this is the 1800s and they like sort of speak better is he doesn't use contractions. So I was like, I get the choice here. And then later, it's just, well, I mean, we'll talk about it,
Yeah.
but it's just, it's
Well, he
so
also had
frustrating.
certain things that he added. So I just saw prologue and didn't even read that it was 1800s.
Oh, okay.
So I actually wrote something because you just said that. And I was like, oh shit. Because I'm like, wow, he's doing a really good job making. I'm like, I know it's set before.
Yeah.
Like how they're talking about setting up the tree and they can't wait to string up cookies, popcorn, and like actual candles on the tree.
Right, yeah.
People must have been dying every Christmas.
Yeah, a lot of lit trees.
Yeah. Page 46. She's startled by mom's ringtone.
Yes, this is insane. It's the ringtone cliffhanger that he does. It's available only in the 21st century. It's such a notable difference.
This one I give him props for. On page 64, she gets locked in a room.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I'm so fucking stupid. I should have just called somebody on my cell phone or
Yeah.
texted them. And then she realized she left it in her backpack.
Right.
Which is what you have to do at school nowadays. We're not part of that
Yeah.
generation, but working at a school, you have to, like, cell phones cannot be out. They need to be, like, locked away in your backpack at all times. So.
It's smart because he's aware of that.
Yes.
And then it's also smart to acknowledge, like, the reader would be like, just fucking use your phone.
Yeah.
So he's
very smart.
saying, like,
He
well,
said,
that's
R.L.
not an
Stine's got
option.
chops at this point. He's figured it out.
Yeah.
Page 86, different girl has Uggs. And then page 93, she's like, and then I wanted to take a picture of it on my phone. Like, it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
on my camera phone.
Right.
And I was
Oh, did it say camera phone?
Yeah, like he's talking
Yeah.
about her being like an influencer with her social media profile.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, camera phone?
Let me take out my camera phone.
Yeah. It's like, oh, nice Moto Razr, you idiot.
Yeah. Yeah,
She's
cool
like, "Meh."
sidekick.
Also, flat screen TVs. I forgot about that. Giant, on page 41, giant flat screen TVs. That's all we get about Kate's dad, is that he really likes giant flat screen TVs and would have one in every room if he could.
The dads are so simple in these books. It's so like, he's a fucking fat idiot who eats nachos, and then they never talk about him again.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, so those are the technology references are the big notable differences.
Very different.
Yeah.
Also, his descriptions have gotten, like when there were bad descriptions and then descriptions that got really good,
Yeah.
this one had a lot of really good descriptions.
He did. Yeah.
He could describe a ghost like no one's business in this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Much different descriptions than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The books that we're reading for the original series.
We just wanted to blow through this plot, right?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah. So we got through the 1800 sections. Yeah. We're up to Kate Wells and her pals, or
Frenemies.
hunky boyfriend, frenemies. This part one, I don't really. It establishes the characters basically, and it establishes that Kate can see ghosts.
Kate can see ghosts. She has detention, so she's late coming home and walks through a graveyard and sees all the ghosts.
That was kind of creepy and also just strange.
It was strange, but they were disturbed that she like noticed them.
Yeah.
That was just like scary for them too, which was
Right.
cool. And all the ghosts were very like Hellraiser and creepy. And, like,
Yeah.
some didn't have faces, and like that's part of my really good description. I very much like some ghost parts.
Yeah.
So after detention, she goes home, try to practice the 12 Screams of Christmas, a play written by Mr. Piccolo.
Mr.
who is-
Piccolo. Sounds like a hoot.
Yeah, he rules. He's like, I pictured him as like a John Lovitz kind of character.
Oh my God, yes.
And he wrote this play about the 12 Screams of Christmas based off the 12 Screams that Flora, the little girl that died in the well, did 12 Screams.
Yeah.
And that's his like ancestors.
Right. It's later revealed that those are his direct relatives.
And that's why he wrote this.
Yeah.
So Courtney shows up at her house, at Kate's house, even though she hates them and didn't invite her, dressed up as a ghost to kind of show off.
Yeah, this was weird for somebody who sees ghosts. She's really bad at detecting what's a ghost and what's not, right? Because Courtney appears like dressed in. Is this what you're talking about? Where she's like dressed in white
She
and stuff.
comes dressed as a ghost,
And Kate's like, a ghost, and like it's just Courtney. And it's like, you just saw a ton of ghosts in the graveyard, and you've seen them your whole life, and you can't
like, "This
suss
one came
out,
home."
yeah, that Courtney is like just dressed in a costume.
Also, a new thing I missed is didn't they say that it's like her sister's friend does like makeup tutorials?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, which is very much YouTube. Internet.
Yeah,
like that's pretty cool.
That's really, he must have consultants, right? Like, how does this
Maybe.
happen?
No, he's just like once he got a smartphone,
Yeah,
he's in everything.
He is plugged in. Like, he's
Yeah.
on Twitter a lot.
He's just Snapchatting me pictures of his junk constantly. Like, it's like, oh, cool, you do have the dog filter. And then it goes right down to his sack. It's crazy.
So many moles.
And he says, hello, I'm R.L. Stine.
Hello, I'm R.L. Stine. Welcome to my dead house.
Yeah. We weren't just watching videos.
No, we don't do that.
We don't do that all the time.
Yeah, so...
They want the main part. They want to play Flora
Yeah,
in the play.
right.
Who has a different name, like Livy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't matter.
But the girl who drowned in the well, her name was Flora.
Imagine trying out for something and just be like, oh, Mom, it's a Christmas play. I really want this. Like, oh, who are you going to be? You're going to be like Ebenezer Scrooge or the Virgin Mary? Just like, nah, I just want to be this little girl that dies in a well.
Yeah. You know, Flora.
Flora. And it's like, I don't know. The dad would just be like, the fuck? Like, my kid's doing The Ring Christmas edition.
Yeah, right. Celebrating death by drowning.
Yeah, just leave me alone. I have to jerk off to this giant screen TV.
Got this flat screen TV I can see boobs on.
Yeah, but Dad, it's not even on. I know!
I'm imagining.
Yeah. I bought you these damn Ugg boots. I'll walk in the snow and get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. Your social media presence isn't on brand. You're not the daughter I raised.
You won't add me. I said I wanted to play Mob Wars. I poked you and you haven't poked me back, damn it.
Yeah. So after that fight with her dad, they I don't know, what do they even do in that section? It's like
They go to try out for the play.
right. They fall in a trap door.
Mr. Piccolo needs something. She goes to his office to get
yeah.
it. Courtney follows, locks her so she would miss her stage time to audition because they're auditioning for the same part. She finally gets out. Courtney told her that Mr. Piccolo that she was feeling sick and left.
Yeah.
And then she's like, not today, bitch, and tackles her. And earlier, Chekhov's gun, they say, hey, watch out. The trap door opens randomly and it's open right now.
Yeah.
So they fall to their doom.
Yeah. And it just is like the basement of the school.
Yeah, she has like a dream that she saw ghosts, but it's because she was knocked out.
Yeah.
Which is concussion 1 this girl gets in this book.
Yeah. And Paco is the floaty ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who's like, come over here, and then there's like a circle of ghosts, which is a pretty creepy description. But yeah, ultimately she was just chalks it up to being knocked out.
So they get in trouble, but because Mr. Piccolo doesn't want to keep them in the play and everything, they're fine. He decides to do the most ridiculous thing. He's going to move the play practice
To a random haunted house
that his family owns.
Yeah.
To an abandoned haunted house that no one lives in.
So this answers my question. So presumably he owns the house.
Yes, it was
Okay.
left to him by his family.
Okay, they say that?
Yeah.
Okay, I just skimmed over it then. Because I was
the house has been in his family for generations.
Got it. Because I was like, this fucking guy, he needs to get like a permit or something. He just goes to this house that's
No,
not
but
allowed.
also imagine if you were like a professor, even like in college.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you guys doing? And it's like, well, I need all of my students to come
go
to
to
my
a
house.
Especially if they're all preteens.
So he's having all of these preteens stay on cots in his family's haunted house.
And he's the only one there.
Yeah.
No, that's not okay.
It's not good at all.
It's 2014 when this book is written. That's the only like non-self-aware thing that's happening.
It's insane. But
they do it.
they do it. By the way, everyone calls her Ghost Girl.
Right.
That's like a big point
Very
in the book.
funny. So funny. What a sick burn.
Because she always thinks she sees ghosts.
Yeah.
And she does.
Yeah. So, of course, as you might surmise, when they get to this house, Well, first Mr. Piccolo says, like, because this is in my family, I know that this house is haunted because Flora died in a well, et cetera, et cetera. And then not long after that, Kate starts seeing Flora's twin brothers, ghost boys, like on the stairs and sort of throughout the house and in the backyard.
Yeah.
And eventually they start getting more aggressive and they're sort of aloof
She
at
like
first.
walks in the bathroom. They're taking a shit. They're like crossing swords.
One's jacking off in the shower.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's that noise? Is it like a faucet or is it like, somebody cranking off?
Wait, what does it sound like when you crank off?
It's like, in the shower, it's like...
Oh my god. So where were we in the plot?
So Flora catches them jacking off. Just really gonna I'm gonna triple down on this. Can't go wrong, right? Nothing's wrong with that.
Can I take it away? Because on page 87, there's a full page of debates on Pop-Tarts.
Oh yes, I made a note here that's like, is this book sponsored by Pop-Tarts?
It's literally a full page of just being like, oh, not warm Pop-Tarts? I would fucking puke.
Yeah.
And then it's just
what's
like,
the best flavor of Pop-Tarts? Do you like icing on your Pop-Tarts? Yeah, it goes on for a full page.
No, it's a full page of
Yeah.
just them talking about Pop-Tarts.
So congratulations, RL, for the sponsorship. Make a cool $3,000.
It's nice.
Yeah, the dialogue is, let's say you have a couple of Pop-Tarts without icing, he said. And this is Paco. Well, then you drag around all morning because you didn't get enough sugar. And then Carol Ann, the voice of reason, she says, you can put sugar in a bowl of cereal or have Frosted Flakes or something. Cereal takes too long to eat, Paco said. I'm always late. I just grab Pop-Tarts and wolf them down on the way to school. I don't even toast them. And on from there. It's not important, but it is gratuitous.
And that's on the bus on the way to this haunted house.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we said he sees the little kids. Mr. P, the relatives, sees the boys, chases them to the well. She almost falls in. And, okay, one time, when they call her Ghost Girl, she ruined the gymnastics team's chance of winning. Which, first of all, I didn't know that that's how gymnastics worked.
No. Yeah, I didn't
know
understand.
that you like win as a team.
Yeah.
But she saw a ghost and fell off the balance beam and almost got hurt. Courtney was her best friend, but never forgives her for fucking her up.
Yeah, right.
So that's a little tidbit we get. And when Arlstein says that somebody does gymnastics, apparently they're fucking Jackie Chan.
I know where this is going, and I'm very excited.
All she does is stunts the entire fucking book.
Okay, on page 121,
yes,
she does a fucking backflip, and there's no reason for it.
Because she's in the same place. She does a backflip just so the ghosts are like, why did you do that? And then she runs.
I just wrote, I did a backflip in quotes with 5 question marks.
I have that too.
Because it says, this is chapter 27. The top of the page says, no, I uttered a sharp cry. I dropped back and slid my arms free. The boys spun in surprise. I did a backflip. Landed on my feet, turned to run.
I love, the thing about it too is that she could have just ran, but she was just like, check this shit out.
She did a backflip.
Boom.
Yeah. It takes, like, I don't know. How long does a backflip take? 7 seconds?
I would never know.
I wouldn't know either.
I can't do that shit.
Last night, my wife and I were at a bar, and there was a fight on, and the guy knocked the other guy out in 44 seconds, and then to celebrate, he did a backflip. It was insane. It was very well executed, but it was
Imagine if he
stupid.
knocked himself out doing the backflip, and everyone's just dead. Like, everyone.
The thing is, it always looks kind of stupid.
Backflips?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of flips you're looking, man. Those are awesome.
It's just too much. Like,
forward flips are cool. Side flips. Well, when was parkour invented? Because did Kate start, or was she like late YouTube? Because she's a parkour champion. So the part is she falls into the well. This is before she sees the ghosts and everything. And there's a description of like her like Spider-Manning her way out. Like she stretches out her legs and arms to get to all corners of the well, and then like hand springs out of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, that was close.
You think she's gonna fall down, but she does Spider-Man her way out of it. Because I was like, this is where Arl's going with it. She's gonna fall down the well. She's gonna get all gross. They're gonna get her out somehow. Oh, also,
I'm going through just this best part of book, page 121, backflip.
Just a backflip.
That's not even. I have more Jackie Chan adventures later.
There's more stunts.
Oh, there's it makes the backflip look stupid.
Oh,
on page 155.
She does the roof.
We'll get there.
The roof
yeah.
stunts.
So
That's right.
So at one point, so they're practicing. At night, she hears something outside, so she goes to the well. That's when the two boys find her, and they say, "Listen, Flora, you got to come home to Christmas with us." They want her to replace Flora.
Yeah, Kate feels this draw to the well. She feels like it's calling her somehow. So that night, she does think she hears a noise, but she's like, she gravitates to that well. And yeah, their goal is to make her the new Flora. So they try to drag her wherever they're going to drag her. We don't know yet. And they're unsuccessful because
Mr. P comes up and
Mr.
he's
P.
like, "The fuck's going on?" He's in
Yeah.
like his robe, being all fat and stuff.
Yeah, eating Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, and like the boys are afraid. So she loses her mind at some point because she keeps seeing these boys and is scared. So she gets like, she's like, "Can't you see the ghosts?" Like mid practice,
and she like screams in their face.
and runs towards them, trying to
Yeah.
scare them away. They just look at her like, "What?"
We're
and then
ghosts.
She runs away and runs headfirst into a bookshelf.
Oh man, yes, knocks herself out. Like
Concussion
an idiot.
number 2, knocks herself out completely.
Yep. And then
No one cares though.
no one cares. She wakes up. She's like generally fine. Needs no medical attention.
Never. Well, it's because she's fucking Bruce Willis and
That's-
Die Hard in this one.
Better. Bruce Willis just like crawled around and stuff. His feet bled. That movie holds up. I watched it last week.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Also, Reginald Vell Johnson's in it. It's my boy.
Yes, and he's very good in it.
Carl Winslow rules.
Yeah. So eventually what this gets to is Kate sees that there's an attic at one point. She sees a light coming from the attic. It's an attic, right? Or is it like a third floor? Yeah. So
There's a
she...
fireplace up there.
Right.
Weird for
there
an
ends
attic.
up being a fireplace.
Weird for an
Well, she
attic.
goes up there and... surprise, the ghost family is up there. But I think they sort of change her world, right? Like there's some illusory spell cast.
Because the door disappears and the,
The door
stairs
disappears. So like, is the fireplace there the whole time, or
Who knows?
is it just a ghost thing?
Just some Christmas ghost magic.
It's like, as I always do, I draw it to an episode of Buffy where they're like trapped in a haunted house, and like the props and stuff, like your haunted decorations, they come to life because there's a spell cast on the house.
There's a really good movie called, I think it's like Fear Inc. or something, or like Haunted. I don't know. Sal and I watched it. It's very good.
Oh
It
yeah,
was like that.
same kind of thing.
It's a haunted house that they set up a haunted house in.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's really good.
and things start to blend
Yeah.
together,
And the haunted house comes to life.
Yeah.
Because it's a possessed house.
right,
It's very good. But
it's that kind of thing. So she's trapped in this room with
Hell House Inc.
the twin brother, Hell House Inc. That's
Very
cool.
good.
I'll
It's on
check it out.
Amazon.
The twin brothers, Flora's not there, but the twin brothers are there, and then Ma and Pa are there. Peg and Aaron are the names, if you want to know.
I was so hoping it was Peg and Hank. Because they called it Peggy at one point.
Yeah.
I would just be like, "Damn it, Flora."
I just had phone sex. That's on the Hulu ad, and
boy ain't right.
it makes me laugh every time.
Wait, it's on Hulu?
The whole series is on Hulu.
Are you
now.
fucking... Dude, I was buying the DVD sets
Oh.
because they couldn't get it
Well,
anywhere.
Rejoice.
Well, I know I'm doing it tonight.
Yeah.
Podcast is over.
Bye, boo dudes. Bye.
Oh, yeah, by the way, we didn't do that last time.
No,
we were supposed
but-
to do it once an episode, but we
I know.
forgot.
We can
so.
make up for it now.
Well, I forgot what we're doing. Bye, boo dudes. All right, we got 2. So she's up there and she ruins their Christmas.
Yeah. So there's a series of traditions that the family goes through. Then they're supplanting Flora with Kate. So they're like, let's like play a game because that's what we do on Christmas. Let's open some presents because
You
that's
ever
what we do.
engage in human trafficking and steal a little girl and then she ruins your Christmas because she won't sit on your skeleton's lap?
I've done that with my
They did.
family.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Little kids are playing Parcheesi. I wanted to Google and see when Parcheesi was actually made because I doubt it was 1800s.
Yes, I'm thinking 19, but I don't. What do I know?
Because also they were like, they rolled wooden dice. I was
Yeah.
like,
whoa,
that seems weird.
ancient.
Yeah, ancient Monopoly.
Yeah.
Boardwalks didn't exist yet.
So they're trying to do, the family, the ghost family is trying to do all of these, Christmas traditions with Kate. And Kate the whole time is like, I'm Kate, right? And I'm not Flora. And sometimes they're like, no, I feel like...
They're
but-
like, no, you're Flora. But then when she escapes, you're like, Kate, you bitch.
I know, yeah. But then they're like, yes, we know. So it's
They're
that.
like, don't ruin this for me. It's
Which-
like when you pay like a hooker and you're like, no, your name is Catherine.
And you will put all those things in my butt.
Yeah.
And they just slide right in with no resistance. So they...
Okay, she won't sit on Santa. She won't sit on Father Christmas's lap.
Yeah. So there's the whole time she's in the attic, that is like maybe the scariest,
It
right?
is.
Because it's all of their traditions, because they're dead, RL's like, well, they're gonna go through this series of things, but everything's gonna be all fucked up.
And
so
old.
like and old. So like they want her to sit on quote unquote Santa's lap, but they call him Father Christmas because this is olden times when they died. And Father Christmas is just a fucking skeleton wearing a Santa outfit.
Yeah, and he is like full of worms.
He's filled with worms and he smells.
Apparently, it's like a dead body that's been there and it's decayed over the hundreds of years.
Right. So I guess there wouldn't be worms because it's just bones at that point.
Yeah, but you know,
we'll give it
the
to
worms. Yeah, it's fine. It's cool.
It's spooky.
Then they want to feed her.
Yes. And this is crazy.
This is insane because I'm like, well, what are they going to make her do? Eat like a ghost turkey?
Right.
And the turkey is just the bones of a turkey.
Right.
And then they're like, have some potatoes. And what are they?
Mouse heads.
They're just mouse heads.
They're heads of mice. So here's what I don't get. Like, because they're ghosts, they think potatoes are mouse heads? Or mouse heads are potatoes?
Or maybe because the only way this can make sense is if we need to get potatoes and leave them out for 100 years and see if they turn into mouse heads. Because like Santa, it's a guy and he dies. The guy was Santa and he becomes a skeleton.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Turkey
Comes bones.
becomes bones.
Potatoes become mouse heads?
Yes, that's the only way this makes sense. Like she like knocks them over and they roll away.
That's where it lost me. I was like, oh, you're just like picking fucked up stuff. And it is fucked up.
It is.
But you're just like choosing like, what's grotesque? Like, I don't know. This will be mouse heads. And there's another
it's
one
good.
of like bugs or something.
But it's good. I
It's-
like this.
I like it
I
too.
very much like this. And she looks at the kids like, what are you, fucking stupid? And then the dad's just like very abusive, as I imagine all fathers were in the 1800s.
For sure, yeah.
And
How many lashes would you
screaming.
like?
Exactly. So they decide she's ruined their Christmas too many times. The only thing they can do to fix this is to throw her out the window.
Yeah, the two kids, I guess they're really strong. They throw her out the window onto the roof. She Jackie Chan's down to the ground.
Parkour's to safety. My favorite fucking thing.
Yeah.
This blew my mind. I was reading it very hungover this morning, and I was like, no way. No way. The backflip was funny.
Yeah.
But this in my head, okay, readers, listeners, whatever you are, I want you guys to just calm down, close your eyes,
Relax.
relax, and listen. I want you to picture this in your mind's
Go to your
eye.
special place. And
I don't care if you're driving. Close your goddamn eyes.
Yeah.
I landed on my back on the slanting roof below the window. Without thinking, I tucked my head and did a forward roll. It took me to the edge of the roof. I could see the steep drop below me, too far to jump down. I shot out both hands and wrapped them around the metal gutter at the corner of the roof. Swinging my body around, I held on to the drain pipe, wrapped my legs around it, and slid slowly down to the ground. I took a few steps. My legs felt weak, trembly. I struggled to catch my breath.
Crazy.
Have I escaped them?
I mean, some real John Wick stuff.
So
going on.
she gets thrown out a window and instantly decides to tuck and roll right to the corner, jumps, grabs the gutter, swings to the pipe, and then shimmies down.
Amazing. Kate really pulls out all the
Because
stops.
She did gymnastics once.
Yes.
And lost.
But I like this.
Imagine Courtney, who
I mean,
won.
Yeah.
Courtney probably like jumped over the house just for fun.
I mean, she uses a pole, right? She's pole vaulting.
She probably is. Well, that's not gymnastics at all. She probably does that thing where you just like hold and do like full flips around, like you're breakdancing in the air.
I picture her like she squats down and then like in a video game, like the floor starts to illuminate and shake and like you get your special and she just rockets up into the air.
I like to imagine she moves like the Power Rangers, where like every view of her doing gymnastics is like you're laying on the ground and she's doing 100 flips over you.
Yes.
And every time she moves to like pick up a glass of water, it's like, whoa. Anyway, so she escapes.
Yeah.
But then they just come and find her.
Yeah, the brothers come and find her outside. They're
The whole
like,
family is like, yo, we're ghosts.
Yeah, the family
You
do.
can't like, we're not gonna be like, fuck, we gotta get down the stairs.
Yeah, right. They just appear. And naturally they go to the well.
And she says she can bring back
Flora.
Flora.
Well, yeah, in a plea for her life, because they're going to throw her down the well. They're just going to be rid of her.
I like this part because in other Goosebumps books, there's always something ridiculous like Mummy. He just holds up his favorite thing he bought from a garage sale and
Yeah.
saves the day for no reason.
Yeah.
She doesn't think she can get Flora back.
No.
She is just saying that to buy time so she can try and run away.
Yeah. She's like, maybe this thing will work. Like she heard from Mr. P that he made up this thing where maybe the legend is you can bring Flora back if you say.
Well, in the story, he said to make, because it's a Christmas story and he doesn't want it to be depressing, he changed it that they got her out of the well in the end.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And the way they do it is they scream 12 times, like, come up.
Right. That was the part where I was like, not great, but fine. Because in the beginning, I mean, it does tie to the beginning in the 1800s when Flora dies. She says, "Get me out 12 times." So 12 is the number here for this book.
Christmas Carol. It's all,
12 Screams of Christmas, etc. So what happens? Of course, at first nothing, and then Flora comes up ish. She's almost there.
And this is like the ring. Like she comes up and she says her arm feels like it's like drenched in just her clothes, and her body has just retained so much water.
Yeah, and she's pale and she's got stringy hair.
If this wasn't recommended and appeals to 4th to 5th grade, 6th graders,
very
like
specific
it says
now, on the back of the book. It says.
I would imagine she'd grab her hand and just the skin would just peel away.
Yes,
that's what I was thinking.
That
it was
would
creepy.
be a nice detail, actually.
Because
there are other like descriptions in here that are equally as gross.
I feel like
cool.
that might be too far if you rip a little girl's arm off when you're trying to lift her up. But she can't reach and almost falls in, but then Courtney comes out and she said, "Courtney, grab my legs." And Courtney's like, "No," but she just jumps in anyway, so Courtney has to save her, and they save the little girl.
Right. That's kind of it.
Well, the class comes out.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What happened here?" And then Flora, they're all thanking Kate, and then they're like, Flora's like, "Oh, I need to thank your friend." And now becomes visible to Courtney, who loses her shit, and everybody starts calling her a ghost girl.
Yep.
And bullies her back for the entire week.
That was some nice poetic justice there.
I was expecting something bad to happen. For a while, I thought that Kate was going to like sell Courtney to the family. As the new Flora.
I thought that too. Yeah.
I thought she was going to like
take
go to the
girl.
props and put like a red hat on her and be like, "Good luck, bitch."
Yeah.
But this was it tied up real nice.
I like the ending too. Like,
oh yeah, the very end.
Because it's not your typical RL twist ending where.
But there's a twist.
But there's
always
a twist.
Yeah, the twist in this one was good.
And I like it, which is that it turns out when Kate gets home and all this is over, Flora appears in her bedroom and says like, "I don't really want to be with my family. I want to be with you. You saved me." And then she like jumps on Kate's bed. Flora jumps on Kate's bed and says, "Where are you gonna sleep?"
There's only one bed here.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about it is she doesn't want to be with her family because she's like, "You just like saved me right away." They didn't do shit for 100 years.
Yes, which is true. That's a good point.
Which is so true. She's been alive for 100 years. She's old enough to be like, "Can I get out of the well? You're playing Parcheesi."
And all they had to do was shout, "Come up."
Or they could have just floated down there because they're all ghosts.
Right.
I just love it that she's like, "My family's lazy as shit. I want to hang with you."
Yeah.
It's going to be the Kate and Flora train.
She seems cool.
I think she's cool.
Let her stay.
Out of all the characters, Kate's cool. I mean,
Kate's cool.
Anyone who can do stunts like that's awesome.
Also, just as a protagonist, we have such a low bar.
Mr. Piccolo rules.
Mr. Piccolo rules.
Except R.L. Stine and Kate. Like, I don't know if you can high five an imaginary character, but they were definitely dunking on him in the writing and high fiving.
For sure, yeah. Cool. Do you want to talk about the writing?
Let's do it.
Cool. What did you like?
You go first.
Okay.
I feel like I'm talking too much.
No. It's all good. Well, so you touched on a lot of like what separates this book from older books in terms of references to the modern age. So I won't talk about that. The ghost descriptions are
incredible.
Good. Yeah. So a lot of them are scary or gross or both. On page 74, this is when Kate falls to the basement and she sees this group of ghosts. She thinks she sees this group of ghosts, right? It says, "I knew at once there was something wrong with them, this group of people." A ghost.
Murph just walked up and tapped. Murph is Matt's cat. Just walked up, tapped him on the shoulder. It was like, "Yo."
Meowed very loudly, and now he's licking me furiously. No. He's attacking me. I knew at once there was something wrong with them, this group of people that Kate sees. Their faces appeared to shimmer in and out of the light. Their skin was yellow and stretched tight. Their eyes were glassy and rolled crazily in their heads. I saw children in tattered clothes, stained rags, old men, their chins wobbling up and down, but no sound coming out.
That's
Women
awesome detail.
like that, and women with long, scraggly strands of hair falling from bald, rutted heads. Ghosts. Like, that's really good.
Can I go through some ghosts too that I love?
Please do.
Guy, like I texted Matt. I'm like, this guy's got chops. His ghost descriptions are so on point.
Yeah.
The first one that caught my eye was a little girl It's page 32. She couldn't have been more than 5 or 6. Kind of, it's a little dead girl.
Yeah.
Wearing a tattered gray smock that came down to her ankle, she stood barefoot in the snow. Her long hair fell over her forehead. I didn't see her face at all. Did she have a face? I saw 2 men huddled in long overcoats, their heads frozen inside oval blocks of ice, faces buried in ice, but their lips were moving as if they were having a conversation. 2 sad-looking women in long black gowns, shaking their heads, just shaking them. They were barefoot too, like the little girl, only they floated 6 inches above the snow, floating in the air. Others perched on their tombstones, faces torn, eyeballs glassy, moaning up at the bright blue sky. I saw 2 children, the saddest of all. The boy in short pants, his bare legs as white as the snow. He had long icicles hanging from his chin. The girl rocked back and forth on her feet as if she couldn't find her balance. She wore a tattered short skirt and gray sweater. Her head was tilted to the sky, and she was crying, sobbing loudly, holding the boy's hand and wailing. And that's awesome. She says, frozen to the spot, gaping in horror, I saw at least a dozen of the sad creatures, maybe more. I love that she called this ghost sad creatures, too.
Yeah,
that was awesome. That was like my favorite. And then there's another good ghost on page 35. That's a tall bearded man in a black overcoat, 10 sizes too big for him. The sleeves nearly down to the ground, took a silent step toward me. His eyes were wide and glassy. He staggered stiff-legged. Stay away, please. Stay away. That's the ghost who's like, I pictured him as like Mayor Ghost. Because she sees them all and she's like, what are you guys doing here? And then he's just like, please just let us be in our sad existence.
And he touches her face too, which I think is creepy. So on page 36 it says, the ghost lurched up to me. He raised his hand. He slid his bony finger down the side of my face and I started to scream. Like he's done it well. He's set this up well where you can picture it and it's horrific.
People descriptions are great in this book.
Yeah.
Even Mom, who used to be a model and is like such a perfectionist, one sentence completely encapsulates who this character is. So it just says, Mom is the type of person who can eat just one chip.
Yes, right.
Says so much without saying anything.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like, talk about self-control and limiting yourself and
for vain reasons.
Exactly,
right? Yeah. She's trained herself to do that.
It's like trained herself to not enjoy the pleasures of things.
Right, yeah.
And that's...
Because of a horrible
industry.
industry.
Also, in the same way, really enjoys the study because she's fought to not have a TV in there and wants to remain like family and stuff. So
the den's
great.
Sounds real nice.
It sounds great.
I'm going to read the description, listeners. Let's see. So they have mugs of hot cocoa at the ready, and it says, the den is my favorite room in our house. It has floor-to-ceiling bookshelves on 3 walls. Always a nice look. A fireplace with soft, comfy green leather couches and armchairs facing it, and a beautiful antique piano in one corner, and then, of course, the giant flat-screen TV. Just sounds really nice.
Another good one, being someone who went through the public school system, they talk about the school's windows are painted shut.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, the school at Fairleigh where you worked, I remember trying to open the windows there. It's just thousands and thousands of codes of paint over and over to the point where like things, it's like wood. It's part of the building.
My apartment was like that. I had to pry them up with screwdrivers.
Yeah. They make the ghosts ask her to sing for them, and she sings the scary thing, and they're like, "That's like racist to ghosts." I thought that was awesome.
Oh, in the attic, right?
Yeah,
because ghosts ask her to sing twice.
Yeah,
like once when she falls in the basement, and it's so funny because I don't have to read it, but they chant sing, and it's so fucking funny. But then again, when she's in the attic with the family who wants her to be Flora, they ask her to sing, and she sings like, "What do you have at the ready when you sing?" It's like, I could do like Freebird, Oasis, Wonderwall, or I could do 12 Screams of Christmas.
There used to be a alone.
Come on, baby, move your body, baby, do that conga.
Yeah. But I can't sleep. I can't hold still. The only thing I know is that she got sex appeal. I could feel. That's a Butterfly by Crazy Town. Yeah.
But she sings 12 Streams of Christmas and they get upset because they're like, we're ghosts. Can you read the room?
Gotta sing crisp.
Yeah, crisp.
Mr. Piccolo.
Mr. Piccolo says that every time.
Ghost eyes are described as coals. In 145, she talks about smelling the putrid smell of death. It's sour. It's great.
Oh, right, because of Father Christmas.
Yep.
We should read that real quick. It's pretty horrendous. It says, it smelled, my face buried in the jacket. I inhaled the odor of death, so sour and thick and strong. I felt I was drowning in it, drowning in the putrid aroma. And that reminded me of the book we just read, Curse of the Mummy's Tomb.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of good description in that book of, the sour smells in the tomb.
Second book in a row that doesn't have mouths dry as cotton. This one's
Yes.
not as big because it's a winter book, so we're not going to get that. But
Yeah.
I'm going to tip my hat to R.L.S. because the last one was in a desert and he didn't say it once.
Yeah. Way to go. Real
great.
restraint with those similes.
Yeah, I have a bunch, but we're moving. We got to make some good time. Oh, I got to talk about Mr. Piccolo, my favorite character for being a fat piece of shit and the best description where his mom, Kate's mom asked like, well, Mr. Piccolo, what a funny name for a music teacher.
Yeah.
It would be funny if Mr. Piccolo resembled a piccolo, but he doesn't. Actually, he's quite round, more like a bass fiddle. He has a big pouch of a belly that stretches the oversized turtleneck sweaters he always wears. He has a round face, too. He's mostly bald, and his scalp shines like a bowling ball. He wears square eyeglasses, which are always sliding down his long, straight nose. He peers at you over his glasses with his little sparrow eyes. He reminds me of an owl that should go on a diet.
Yeah. That was a sick 90s burn, I feel like.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you remind me of my mother, just a fat asshole. Like, when it under head, it's like, hey, yeah, you remind me of if Leonardo DiCaprio was a douchebag with an ugly dick and you should die.
If he shaved his head and was a stupid asshole, he'd look like you.
You have a beautiful voice. It reminds me of killing myself. Fuck you.
Yeah. Who's in the Muppets? Who's Beaker's sidekick with the little
Bunsen.
glasses? Bunsen.
That's what
It's
I think to do.
Yeah.
It's Bunsen. All right, let's go to the bad stuff.
All right. Yeah. I had said, like, the contractions are non-existent in this book, and again, it's out of touch with how kids talk.
It is.
So that happens a lot. I mean, I don't need to bring up specific examples of it.
I said that she sees the ghosts. She keeps talking about the incident that happened in the graveyard and why she doesn't go there anymore. But she goes anyway. And then she was like, oh, yeah, I see ghosts.
Yeah.
Which is like, what are you going to fucking expect to see? You see ghosts every time you go in the graveyard. And she's like, well, maybe it won't happen this time.
Yeah.
But that's when the sad creatures. And then I just think it started when it's like, and I realized that I could no longer ignore my special power. I could no longer pretend that I was just a normal 6th grade girl. I could no longer ignore the frightening truth. I could see ghosts.
Yeah.
And it was just that paragraph, which didn't really fit. It was kind of a surprise, but they didn't lean into it. It just punched you in the face.
Yeah. I think the description of the ghosts in the attic getting mad is very funny. I don't think it's scary.
I wrote, too, that they explain it too hard. Their expressions, they were like, their faces were melting.
They're melting.
Melting because they were mad.
Yeah.
Red hot, like mad.
Right. Yes.
It was very...
overuse
get it?
of that.
Do you get it?
Yeah, like dripping, melting, like a candle. And also, at one point, they mentioned they're like fish monsters or something.
Oh, yeah. They looked like...
It looks like their faces turn into fish is the description, the simile used, which is strange.
Other part where it says, I was so mad I saw red. A
Yeah.
curtain of red.
Right.
You don't need it. There was a quote. Every now and then he will not quote things in this book. Did you realize that? He'll just say something like that needs a quote, but it'll just be part of the sentence. But he decided to quote this. Quote, she grunted in surprise and tried to push me away. It just says UNH period. She grunted.
So
It was
stupid.
just so weird.
There's like O's and stuff like that, like there are in other books. A lot of the time it's just OHH period in a lot of R.L.'s books. And that happens in this book as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't have a lot of other stuff I don't think that we haven't already talked about.
I think I found the worst sentence he's ever written.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not really a sentence. Well, this one. The sentence on page 81 just says, she and I mumbled okay.
She and I mumbled okay. Oh, yeah.
It's whatever. That's not the worst one.
Well, it is bad, too, because it just says exactly as you read it there. There's no comma. There's no...
Quotations.
There doesn't need to be a comma. There should be quotation marks. She and I mumbled okay. But it just says she and I mumbled okay, which reading it that way means like they did a good job mumbling.
Maybe they did. One thing I like is that this book finally had sex in it. It has flirting and like love interests. It says She was pretending to slap him. She tickled him and shoved him toward the window, totally flirting with him, and he was really into it.
Oh, yeah.
Courtney had been flirting with Jack ever since the tryout 3 nights ago, and I knew she didn't really care that much about him. She just wanted to make sure I saw her claim another victory.
Yeah. So they're definitely going to fuck.
Or this sentence, which it seems like R.L. Stine pretending to be a teen girl. It says, Carol Ann looked awesome. She's totally the hottest looking girl in our class. But the worst sentence ever, RLS.
Worse
and
than
I
she
love
and I
you.
mumbled okay?
Yes. Page 117. Read this sentence.
Their expressions... Wait.
No, not expressions. Their
Where am I
expression
looking?
hard.
What the fuck?
It's just 3 words. There's no punctuation but a period at the end. It just says, their expression hard.
Oh, right. Because... What's the sentence before it? It says,
Their faces were identical. Their expression hard.
That's weird. Yeah, it's not pluralized.
No.
At least if you're going to break up the sentence and make this stylistic choice, say their expressions hard.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's just very wrong in many ways.
I don't mean to give it away, but there's a typo in my printing of Let's Get Invisible, so we'll talk about that. I don't know. This shit happens. That's
whatever.
crazy, though.
In 170 pages, you're going to... Well, that's
I
again,
guess.
on page
You
131,
shouldn't.
he restates the plot. That's not even on RLS. That's on, like, Scholastic.
Yeah.
It says, I'd been handling the jokes since 5th grade. It hurt a little to see Jack laugh at me. I kind of had a crush on him. But whatever. No one wanted to believe it, but I do have a special talent. I can see ghosts. This talent got me in a lot of trouble, but maybe I could see it to help others. That's at page 131. That's literally what I said before.
Yeah.
It's R.L. Stine just being like, shit, what's this book about?
Yeah, like this could be on the
back.
back of the book, so
Yeah.
you know what it's about.
That's all I got.
Yeah, same.
Where are we at?
I think we can do our
Spooks and Scares?
spooks and scares, our best dressed, our alternate title.
Woo! Woo! Let's do this shit. All right, you go first. Best dressed.
Best dressed. I'm just gonna ride that Mr. Piccolo wave. Page 51, which is really what you read, so I don't need to read it again. But Mr. Piccolo looking like a little fucked up owl.
I mean, Mr. Piccolo, I'm going to say it, he's my second favorite character of all time so far. It goes Bird, then straight to Mr. Piccolo.
Yeah.
Mr. P.
He's my best dressed. So just refer.
My best dressed is Jack, because Jack is dreamy and a fucking badass. He's Fonzieing so hard in the beginning of this book.
Does he wear a leather jacket?
He wore a maroon hoodie over his faded jeans, a black leather jacket. His boots tossed back snow as he ran up to me. He pulled back the hood, revealing his straight, copper-colored hair.
And his
The
big...
sun made his blue eyes glow. His dick was throbbing in my hand. It smiled up at me. The little mouth made the words, "Hello." I screamed, but I liked it.
And it coughed out a ghost, which I saw because I can see them.
All those sperm ghosts. Do you think she goes into like your bathroom and it's like, ah!
Well, I do ectoplasm a lot.
The
in there.
shower's glowing.
Yeah, I really slimer it up.
Oh man. Oh, shout out to our friend Isaac again for calling us fucking children after listening to all of our podcasts.
Yeah, you're totally right.
You're right. We didn't say you were wrong.
Yeah, and we apologize to all of our listeners.
Thanks for the listens. Thanks for the clicks.
So what's next?
Oh wait, was that best dressed?
That was best dressed.
I didn't do my scare.
Oh, spook and scare, right?
What was your spook and scare?
I think when Kate goes off, when Mr. Piccolo sends Kate to go get her his clipboard, I think there's a fear in being alone in a foreign environment. It's not foreign, but it's sort of repurposed when it's like different time of day. So like your school in the evening is kind of creepy because you're not usually there then. So
And the quiet and stuff of it.
Yeah, there's the stillness which is disturbing. So it says the stairs were at the end of the hall just past the study hall. Most of the lights were off. The stairway was blanketed in deep shadow. I held onto the metal railing and took the stairs slowly. Only 2 ceiling lights were on downstairs, dim as candles. A chill ran down my back as I walked toward Mr. P's office. It was cold down here. The air felt heavy and wet. Nothing even happened here. She just got trapped in the office because her fucking friend Courtney locked her in there. But it's just that feeling I think is relatable, and I think it's creepy.
I like that. Yeah.
So that would be my spook and scare. Also, page 134, when the ghost family takes Kate, and they say, "Welcome home, Kate," again and again, or "Welcome home, Flora," they say. I think that's very Coraline, and I picture the button eyes, and I put her in that setting, and I think that's scary.
All right. So alternate titles.
Did you have a spook scare?
My spook scare was said by you. It's when she has the dream that she's surrounded by ghosts, and it's basically they're on her. They surround her, get right up, touch her face and stuff, and she can smell them.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Sing, or you're never gonna fucking live.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill you." So.
Alternate title. You want to go?
Home for the Holidays.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's very fitting.
Yeah. That's like a good one. I just thought it up. It's like not funny.
Yeah.
But Home for the Holidays works.
Yeah. Because it's true to Mr. P, who I always want him to win.
How about this? Happy Holidays and Well Wishes. Because it's all about a little girl who died in a well.
Oh, that's good.
And then you can have like the ring cover, like the little girl's hat and like the arms, the gross arms coming out of the well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because the 12 Screams of Christmas is just the name of his play, but it doesn't really matter.
No, yeah. That's much better. Now I feel awkward about mine.
Well, you are going to do one about like farting and stuff, right? That's how we do it.
Well, yeah. So here's how I'll phrase mine. 12 Screams of Christmas, more like 12 Streams of Pissmas.
All right, so there's one more thing. Usually we boo dudes away, but I'm going to read. So we got a 5-star review from Carl Germ.
Hey, Carl.
It says, listeners beware, you're in for ... I think it just got
diarrhea.
Yeah. We live in a world of only 90s kids will remember, and of nostalgia seeming ever present in pop culture, and podcasts is a perfect representation of that. Coming back to the things we loved as kids, giving it more critical eye, and appreciating it for what it is and for what it meant to us. It's just a little piece.
Nice. Thank you, Carl.
Also, the writer of this review was dead the whole time. 3 emoji ghosts. Yeah.
Carl's spooky.
Carl's spooky. So we say we're going to go through our 5-star reviews. I think we'll do like one an episode now.
Sure, yeah.
And we'll say how they would die in a Goosebumps book.
Cool.
So we know Carl.
Yeah. So here's what I think for Carl.
Yeah.
Carl walks into a giant hockey arena.
Okay.
Right? He's there to see a game. He just wants to catch some flyers. You know, he wants to see what's the very progressive mascot they
Gritty.
have now? Yeah. He wants to just fucking hang out with Gritty, right? So he goes to where his seat is. He happens to be in the front row because he's a fucking baller. Gritty comes out and stops right at Carl, looks him right in the face, and Carl says, "Can we kiss?" Gritty says nothing because he's a mascot and he just has to be stoic. But slowly there's a zipper on his neck and starts to unzip his neck, and then little lips pop out. Right.
Okay.
Do you want to take it from here, or do you want me to continue?
I have a whole different one. I was.
We could do 2 different ones?
Yeah, we'll do 2 different
All right,
ones.
cool.
We'll each do ours.
So little lips pop out. and a tongue comes out, and it goes right through the fucking plastic or glass or whatever that is around the hockey ring, and it grabs Carl's lips, and it sucks all the liquid out of his body until he's just skin and bones, and then the skin starts to get slurped up by Gritty, and then Carl's just bones. But Carl lives on through Gritty. He's part of him now, and this little K forms on his nipple, Gritty's nipple.
Nice. For
he
Carl.
lives on that way.
For Carl, yeah. That's great. Yeah. Mine was that he eats a haunted Twinkie that has never-ending cream inside, and he they made it so they could just make forever cream. Like you always have cream. Every time you need cream, you just go to the Twinkie, but he eats it because he just eats a Twinkie. He's ready to party. Eats it, but then it forever creams in his mouth, and it like comes out his eyes, it goes through his whole body, fills up, and just starts shooting cream out of his butt. And the worst part is that he doesn't die. He's still alive, but he just leaves a cream trail everywhere.
He just becomes a cream boy.
He's a human cream boy.
Yeah.
So is that even living anymore?
Well, that's how he is in my phone. Is Carl Cream Boy.
Perfect. All right, Carl. Well, that's your 2 Goosebump deaths. We're going to be moving on to Jtron for the win.
Hell yeah.
Who gave us another 5-star review. Thank you very much. If you would like to die on our podcast, go to iTunes and give us a 5-star review, or 4-star or whatever. But if it's 4 stars, we're gonna make you die really bad. If you give us a 1-star review, we're gonna make you die in real life.
Yeah, we'll still shout you out, but you're definitely
Yeah.
gonna get like diarrhea out of Satan's asshole.
Yeah, in real life. I'm going to send my own poop to you. No, I don't care. But we're having fun doing this. We're having a great time. Thank you for everyone who reached out to us. Again, the email we got last week, we talked about, or 2 weeks ago, and then all the people who are reaching out to us now. So feel free to slide into our DMs.
For sure.
All right, guys.
Cool. Boo dudes.
Boo dudes. And a merry fucking holiday to your ass.
Yeah, slappy assmas. See you next
Slappy
time.
assmas.
Bye.
Suck a nog.
Suck our nogs. Bye.
Bye.